Hey everybody, welcome. Oh hey, I got to start the opening. Let's see, where is it? There we go. Fuck it all. Fuck it.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey everybody, welcome to the Late Horse Show.
The fastest growing channel on YouTube that has nobody in the live chat.
We'll see. Seltzer Girl said she'd show up, but hey, welcome to the Late Horror Show. What is going on? As Ted mentioned, we'll get to the Vampire Bat in a second here. We're goofing off here before we even start. What do I give a shit? There's nobody in the lobby.
That's right.
But anyways, in the lobby.
It's an empty house tonight. Is there an election?
But, all you people, if they're probably not watching because they're here for the old-time radio shows that I've been playing every night, overnight. For
Evidently, there's some people out there that are just loving those radio shows.
Love the old-time radio shows.
And if you keep...
And they are fantastic.
You have enough to last a lifetime. So if you keep putting them up there... we'll be like surpassing that little Japanese kid Ryan pretty soon. It'll be this great show that no one watches.
Moonlight Dancer. Hello, nice to see you in the chat. I appreciate you stopping by.
I like that name, Moonlight.
Yeah, that's nice. That. Yeah. We're going to talk the Vampire Bat in a few seconds, but the new format for the channel has been old time radio shows overnight for a good 12 hours and. Yeah, it's been going really, really well.
Somebody's telling somebody about it.
Almost 2,000 subscribers in the last 3 weeks. That is fantastic. And you know what? What
other channel in this?
What I love about it. What I love about it is that I love these old time horror radio shows from back in the day. I love them. So. Flashback to the 30s to 40s.
You've been just fine with no TV.
Exactly.
Turn on the radio.
I would have. I think I definitely would. But since the people are clamoring for us to talk about the Vampire Bat,
we don't want to keep our audience waiting.
The great thing here is, this really. Oh, and check out all the links below. Join our Patreon.
All the usual.
Me and Ted might end up just doing our shows just for Patreons.
We're doing just to be the extra. You got to pay if you want to watch this.
Yeah, that's all. And don't forget Kelsey every Thursday. We got a movie going up. The movie this week.
The ass crack in my chair was a little different.
Oh yeah, it feels a little different on that. But we got a fantastic.
She's probably sinking right in, poor
movie. Yeah, right. But no, it's a very interesting movie out, but I won't say nothing yet about it. Thursday it'll go up, but so let's get to the Vampire Bat with the two people watching.
What year is this movie?
This movie is 1933.
Okay, so this is pre-code, baby.
Pre-code. This was done directed by Frank R. Strayer, and it stars.
Did he direct anything we know?
I don't know. It stars.
I watched this last week, but I've had 2 hellish days at work.
Yeah,
I actually have people who have COVID now, now it requires me to put on all this goddamn equipment.
Yeah, you're
hazmat and they're not that sick.
You're hazmat suit.
They're not that sick, thank goodness.
So. The Moonlight Dancer. The old radio shows are best to listen to in the dark. 100%. You got.
I think that's your idea of streaming them at night.
And
a little something to tuck you in.
With the little candlelight and fire, place going and stuff. So a little ambiance and stuff. But stars Lionel Atwell, Fay Wray, who everybody knows from King Kong, and this movie came out before King Kong, which came out. This movie came out in January release back in 1933. And King Kong was 3 months later. Mm-hmm. So the same year. So
man, I wish I could have seen that on a big screen.
And I tell you,
for real on a big.
And
screen.
Also Melvin Douglas, who
he was a pretty good star in his own right. I think.
Oh, during the day,
you'll see him in tons of stuff.
During the day, yeah. The Death Twitch is here. I've not seen this one.
It's on. Well, you could probably find it for free because I think it's public domain.
It is public domain. I think there's about 50 YouTube channels that's got it. So probably more than that.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
It's only like an hour and change, an hour and 3 minutes, something like that.
It's a fantastic movie.
It would have been a B picture. It would have gone with something else. It wouldn't have been the A picture.
Well, first of all, I watched the remastered version that's on Amazon, and it looks... I can only imagine how the original copy looked, because it still looks kind of grainy and all that, but they did the best with the best copy they could possibly get for a black and white pre-code. It is a shame that so many movies... just aren't there anymore because they've been lost, burned, hidden, and they just deteriorate.
Or there's not any interest in restoring them.
Yeah, that
too.
That too.
UCLA, they restored this film,
right?
And you can buy it on Blu-ray. It's a burned Blu-ray, but. Somebody paid a little bit of money to restore these films.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there was just a company now trying to raise money. The goal was, I think, $70,000 to restore the original Little Rascal shorts.
Oh yeah.
The Hal Roach talkie ones. And
I hope
they're gonna do it, but they didn't meet their mark.
Okay.
And so, unfortunately, when you don't meet your mark, everybody kind of gets their money back.
Yeah.
And now it's just going to take them longer to do it.
Gotcha.
And that's a shame because, if you had reached out to maybe some actors or movie buffs or something like that, maybe you could have got that money to, restore some of these old films. Because eventually they're going to be gone. They're going to crumble away and they're going to be gone. Something like this would have been definitely crumbled away.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, this movie, thank God, was, saved, restored. And we have the vampire bat to watch.
It's a little bit of an odd one. There's
a
few things that aren't explained that are left to the imagination.
Right. It's a horror movie, mystery, but really it's misleading. But yeah, lots of plot holes. We'll talk about that in a second. Tons of plot holes. But that's how the movies were back then.
How come there are plot holes in a movie like this, but if it's a David Lynch movie, it's just called art?
Right. But, back in the day, man, I mean, plot holes were the thing. I mean, they'd get an hour movie out, shoot it, get it done. I mean,
let's shoot this fucker.
Don't get me wrong, though. The movie was very well done. Yeah. Cinematography was fantastic.
You've never seen it before, right? This is the first time you've seen it?
First time I've seen this one, yeah.
This was my pick.
Yeah. Thank you. And but the horror part is when I say misleading, it's more of a whodunit mystery movie than it is a horror movie. You look at the like we got, the vampire bat, the picture.
That paints a picture of something else.
Is this? Are we even live? What's going on here?
Is this damn thing on?
It says streaming. How come it's not?
Well, then how could people be talking to us?
Wait, what's going on? Do you guys see me? Do you guys see us? Let me go again here. What is Okay, they do. I'm looking at the thing and it's not. I was paused.
Is this goddamn thing on?
That's what's going on. Nissa Luna, what is going on? I think I saw this movie on Lord Blood. Ra. Oh, very cool. Horror host.
Is that a horror? Yeah,
horror
this
host.
Is definitely the kind of movie you would have saw. There'd have been a lot of room for filler.
Oh, well, it's a public domain movie, so a lot of horror hosts are going to do this.
Yep.
And Dave Plouffe is in the chat. What is up, Dave? Thank you very much. He says hi, Dino and Ted. Yeah, very misleading movie. It's so weird. I looked over there and it just showed that I was paused.
Okay.
But
I'm glad somebody's driving the bus.
Anyways, cinematography, everything great, but some plot holes in this movie, and they mislead you again with the bat, vampires. First 10 minutes of the movie kind of puts you in that horror kind of... this house that they're in is the same house that they filmed the old Dark House in.
You'd never know it by looking at it.
You would... Well, you should have said, "Oh my God, yeah." You could tell,
because I didn't know it.
You didn't know that?
I didn't have a whole lot of time to look up trivia and stuff, unfortunately. So I was hoping maybe you did.
If you look, there you can tell. After I told you, now if you watched the movie again, you'd see certain staircases and the way things
no beds. Got no beds.
Got no beds. No, got no beds. But fantastic. Let's see. It was a fun one. You guys rock. Thank you very much, Nissa Luna. But yeah, a little misleading, but I loved it. And
cool.
The characters. Fay Ray. And she's just beautiful. And Lionel Atwell.
Fay Ray, come out and play.
Who plays? Fay Ray plays Ruth.
Not a very sexy name, but
well, back then it was a normal name. Back in the 20s, 30s.
Yeah, I guess at one point Blanche was a sexy name.
Exactly. Not sexy, but it's a name for a generation, a name for a decade.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring Ruth.
Okay, sure.
And Blanche.
And Lionel Atwell plays Dr. Otto von Niemann.
No, didn't they? You know what? This was also made.
We haven't even mentioned Dwight Frye yet, but we will.
I don't know if this was made before or after, but there was also Mystery of the Wax Museum, which has Fay Ray and Lionel Atwell in it.
They both
rushed this movie out first to, I think, catch up on some of the hype about those two being in that film.
Yeah.
So, but but that was a bigger production and in color and all that. And they just put out a very lovely Blu-ray of that, so I really recommend picking that up.
Yes, I do.
Really restored another movie that
fantastic
would have crumbled away,
yeah.
and that is the inspiration for House of Wax that Vincent Price would remake 20 years later.
Yeah,
and you see a lot of people don't realize that Vincent Price House of Wax is actually a remake.
Yeah, no, fantastic trivia there, Ted.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
No, but and Melvin Douglas plays Carl,
and we mentioned Dwight Frye.
And Dwight Frye, who plays the, how do you say, the very dim-witted. There you go. Something a little wrong with him. He's a little slow.
He's the village idiot.
He's the village idiot.
There you go. The village called, and they're missing their idiot.
Little different than what you usually get. Yeah, very childlike.
He's really. This is probably. I've seen most.
One of his better characters.
I haven't seen all of his movies, but I've seen all of his horror movies that he did at this time. This is his best one, I think. This is better than when he did Renfield.
Character. Oh yeah,
this
definitely.
This is better than Fritz and Frankenstein.
Yes.
This one just, he's so creepy. He's always skulking around. He just
agree
skulks
100%.
around the neighborhood, shows up in people's houses.
And he's got a love for bats.
Yeah. Like kitten.
Yeah.
Soft. Nice.
And you know what? Dwight Frye's character, Herman.
Herman Glebe.
Herman Glebe is kind of a pitiful Tiger Man. Howdy. How are you doing, man? I haven't seen you since trivia nights, which I'm going to try to get back. Christmas is coming up, and I've got some things to do, and I'd like to get Gremlins in as a trivia night. I still know Dave Plouffe, who's in the chat right now, helped me with Psycho trivia night. So I got some stuff to catch up on, but I've been working full time, and it's been very busy. Ain't
easy being a pimp.
Yeah,
all these hoes.
Yeah, it doesn't pay good either.
Hoes are always trying to keep that.
They hide it in the cushions of the couch.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, but Dwight Frye, a pitiful character because at the beginning of the movie, they're talking about vampirism and the blood is being drained. For a lot of German village, I forget the name of the village, but a lot of German.
Is Kloschen.
Yeah, von Schnappmann. That was Maud's name, who is Aunt Gussie, who plays Aunt Gussie, who plays
a hypochondriac.
Yeah,
she's hilarious.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Sure, I've got a mitral valve regurgitation.
Right. She's
reading the medical books.
Yeah, I got that. One of those people. A hypochondriac, and throughout the whole movie, she's having a heart attack. Something's happening. But yeah, she's a fun character in the movie. But yeah, no,
Yeah, no. I guess if you start breaking down.
Do we start? Yeah, start with
the story. Basically, is
I'll shut up now.
There's been some deaths in this village.
I do that a lot, don't I? Yeah, right.
They all have the blood drained from them, the two little pinprick holes, and all the telltale signs.
Yeah.
The village elders say it's vampirism. Vampirism is returned to our village.
And I will say, though, really quick, that in the very start of the movie, there is a very creepy scene of some like figure crawling on the roof.
Well, we know who that is.
The roof. The roof is on fire.
You know that's Herman.
Right.
He just runs around the rooftops collecting bats, peeking in windows.
But not later on. Later on, they do show another creepy figure.
Don't want to spoil that.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead.
And
I'll rest.
There's nobody has a German accent.
No.
What is it? The local sheriff constable, whatever. His name's Carl. And
what are they in the Burgermeister? Isn't that what they call?
The Burgermeister.
The Burgermeister. Go see the Burgermeister.
I always remember the Burgermeister from that Christmas show.
Christmas show, yeah.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Right.
It was the Burgermeister.
Yeah,
the Burgermeister.
What's the
he
hot
banned all the toys.
Yeah.
He banned all the toys.
Who's the Iceman and the fire guy?
Yeah, well, no, that's a different one. That's that's the year without a Santa Claus.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Anyways, throwing us back to vintage Christmas. But go ahead.
That's right, which you can't even watch on regular TV anymore.
Continue about the Burgermeister.
The Burgermeister. So, the Carl, the sheriff, I'll just call him the sheriff.
Yeah, there you go.
He certainly disbelieves all this nonsense. Vampires. Poppycock.
Lionel Atwell's character. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He doesn't believe in none of this.
Right.
Yeah,
and you got the local doctor. His name is this is Lionel Atwell. This is Dr. von Niemann.
Dr. Otto von Niemann.
Otto. He's got a good German name, but he doesn't speak with the German accent.
No, he doesn't.
And
he's from Philadelphia.
He's not really touting the whole vampirism thing either.
No.
I'm trying to remember exactly how this all happens here.
What all happened?
Like the beginning of the movie, because I watched it a week ago. I'm trying to remember the beginning of the movie.
Well, the old woman, I forget her name.
Oh,
Emil is her or no, is whatever the old woman who's laying in bed, she's dying.
Okay, then that's. I thought that was a little bit later. I was thinking there was something in between. Yeah, she's wearing a little crucifix.
Talking about the murders.
She had gotten bitten, right? Or no, she's just sick.
Right. She's just sick.
She's just sick.
And Dwight Frye's character is kind of close to her and stuff
out.
like that.
Yeah, and then just Herman just shows up. I don't know if he crawls through a window or comes through the door, and because she had been nice to him.
Right.
All right. And he's like, he's always petting them, and everyone's like, Herman, get out of here, go, get out, go home.
Beat it, kid. We'll go get the Burgermeister.
And there's not much they can do. He says, I'll check on her tomorrow. There's not much I can do, and take 2 of these, call me in the morning, kind of shit.
Yeah.
And
you get that glimpse,
right? As the doctors, you hear.
There's Celtic girl shows up in the chat.
Right.
How you doing?
Not too late.
1933. Wow, it's ancient, but it's fantastic. Celtic girl.
I own movies that are older.
Yeah, Silence. I mean, come on, you gotta love them all. It's historical.
All my Buster Keatons and Charlie Chaplin's from 1912.
Right. She was in the chat for the Old Time Radio Show a couple of days ago, and she's like, it's hard. YouTube just don't give people notifications a lot of time. It's so
just for our show, they're against us.
Yeah,
because we speak our minds.
But glad you showed up. Glad
Thank
you're here.
You.
But anyways,
now it's a show.
It's a show. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
So we do see a shadowy figure on the rooftop.
Clear
You're right.
Throat. Yeah.
You're right, and we won't find out who that is till a little bit later.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't
I can't wait to talk about
Dr. von Niemann, he runs into some guy walking on the street. I think he's like, is he the guy that shouts out the time or something like that?
He's one of those guys. Yeah, he almost looks like a hunchback kind of guy.
Yeah, he's a little crippled. He's got a cane.
Yeah, keep the time on the village.
Maybe it's his job to light the lanterns in the street or something.
But I've been walking
these
streets
out there for a purpose.
I've been walking these streets for 30 years.
Right. And he says, I was almost attacked by a bat, got in my face, tried to bite me, but I didn't say anything because I didn't want to create any fear in the village. Right.
Eric, the Death Twitch says, old is gold, and I would agree 100%. But anyways, continue.
and then the doc's like, no, you should go and tell him.
Yeah.
Great. I think,
Yeah.
you get after you've seen the movie, you realize he's probably wanting to proliferate that idea.
Right.
All right, because it's going to provide him some much needed cover.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, it's a shame, but whatever.
So they do that.
Let's blame the village idiot.
And let's see. Have we? I might be talking things out of order, but that poor lady that we saw, she dies.
She does.
And I know they're having the little, I don't know if it's the morgue, whatever. And I don't know why there's a big line of people wanting to maybe because they think she died from the vampire or something.
Yeah, she's kind of like in her casket, and they're all kind of coming down in a big line upstairs and down the stairs. It's
Herman cuts in front of everyone.
Very odd, yeah. Well, and that, I've been in these streets for 30 years. I don't know his name. What's his name? Either way,
call him Klaus.
Either way, Klaus is he's blaming, saying it was Herman that did it, and so Herman starts creeping up down the steps.
Because actually, when he's talking to the doctor out in the street, when he says he got attacked by the bat or whatever, Herman's climbing down like off a lamppost or something like that, and they're talking about bats. No, bats nice.
He brings it out of his pocket, and he pets
like
it.
Cats.
Oh, like cats, like
soft, like cats.
Oh my god,
he's so cool.
It's awesome.
It's so awesome.
And in the YouTube chat, Celtic Girl says, "I'm glad Ted is okay. I thought something happened." Yeah, well,
last week
he's just sick in the head.
I'll tell you what. Last week it was more an issue with my, the kids are doing the work in school and they're, it's hard for them.
Ted just
she was
bailed
missing.
on me.
She was
That's
missing
all.
assignments.
Yeah,
and the grade book was about to close. And I just wanted to make sure she was on task. We went through it assignment by assignment to make sure that she got as much done as she could get done.
Yeah, the COVID's making everything difficult on everybody.
Stupid.
So
this is such a terrible way to learn.
Yeah,
I'm just venting for a moment, but that's why I had to bail, because it was like my one. Because I think they were closing the grade book the next day or something like that. So, and you know what? A lot of the stupid missing things were Jim.
Oh God!
Like how you said Aiden had to record himself and then do it in time lapse. Show him doing like 20 sit-ups, but do it in time lapse. And this is the kind of stuff they're expecting kids to do.
Okay,
I'm sorry. It's a short movie.
No, I know. We'll get back at it. Dave Blueface says with these old movies, their soundtrack is so bad, it's so awesome. With this movie,
this one's pretty scratchy.
This movie does. Whereas most silent films had soundtracks and relied on the music, this one was right after the silence and early pre-code. This didn't have a soundtrack.
No, usually just even like Dracula, just a little bit of music at the beginning and that's it.
Yeah.
And then the closing credits.
Yeah.
But that's actually King Kong.
Yeah.
I believe is the one that's credited with having the first intentional soundtrack.
Okay.
Where the film was scored, to the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
And I believe so. I believe it was King Kong.
There you
first,
go.
Max Steiner.
That's excellent trivia there again.
I'm full of useless information.
Yeah, you're like a walking thesaurus.
I am. I'm like the Encyclopedia Galactica.
Yes, you are. Celtic Girl says, I saw Children of the Dam last month for the very first time on TCM. It was amazing. I think it was either the sequel or the first one before Village of the Dam.
Yeah, Village of the Dam is the first one, and then Children of the Dam.
Ted, a good dad. So glad you are okay.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, Ted's fine.
See, I used to be a teacher before I was a nurse.
When we're done,
they always come to me.
Beat him with a stick.
It's like my daughter wants me just with her the whole time, because evidently teachers can't explain it the way that she needs to learn it.
That sounds about right. Yeah,
I'll explain it.
I'll explain it. So basically, this is where it all goes wrong for Herman, and
it don't take long. People start suspecting it's him.
Yeah,
they're kind of looking for him. Everybody's suspicious of Herman.
Yeah. And they start wondering where he's at.
Now we are going to meet the Fay Ray character. She lives at the same house with her Aunt Gussie.
Yeah.
Evidently in the same house that Dr. Von Niemann lives in.
Love Aunt
I don't know
Gussie.
how that all works out.
Dr. Von Niemann.
Where he lives and works there, and they live there too. And
again,
Fay Ray's character Ruth is I don't know if they're fiancéed or whatever, but to Carl the sheriff.
Right. No, there's plot holes in this.
Oh, and Dr. Von Neumann has like 2 servants, a butler or assistant, and a.
There's things that happen in the movie where you go, wait a second, what? Especially at the ending of the movie. But well, yeah, we're not there yet because there's the weird interaction between Carl, you know, his character, and the other guy who will talk. It's like ESP mind manipulation. Anyways,
there's a little bit of telepathy. It's like we'll
talk about this after,
telepathy to control him.
Yeah,
and they don't really explain how he's able to do that.
Right.
There's a couple of things. They don't explain. Like what's in that jar.
Yeah. Right. So there's that. But anyways, they all kind of live in this house together, and they show the experimental like Frankenstein, like you know, electrobes and all that stuff.
I love those. You know what my favorite part was? Well, I should.
Let's make this a horror movie.
You remember the Ed Wood movie with Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to even say his name anymore? I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I'm allowed.
I guess you. Yeah. Sure.
But when the Martin Landau playing Bela Lugosi, they're doing Bride of the Monster, and there's the little what is it called, the Jacob's Ladder, whatever with the And he's, I'm not getting near that fucking thing. And he's talking about maybe Karloff or somebody got burned on. I'm not getting near that fucking thing.
That'd kill you. No, that's funny.
It's a shame when that movie's better than all the Ed Wood movies.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, they did a great job.
Oh man,
I love when Martin Landau gets in there with the octopus and is flinging him around.
He said, "Let's shoot this fucker."
Let's shoot this fucker.
Oh, poor Bella. He was in such bad shape.
Bela
At least somebody
Lugosi.
loved him.
Oh.
Somebody used him.
He was in a lot of movies, man.
I know, but towards the end, when you get, that's what it showed. When you get washed up and you're just
and drugs. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, he liked the morphine.
Well, so when you can be washed up and thought of as a fantastic person,
laying on the bunk.
Yeah, so well,
who hasn't?
Do you want some opium? Yeah. So where we at?
I think
we're talking
Carl
about the
still
house.
disbelieves.
Carl and Dr. Otto start discussing getting together a group of people to go look for Herman.
Yeah, I mean, in light of any other events, he would rather believe that possibly Herman's behind it.
Yeah, because
of his fascination with bats and just his general creepiness. And the way he has of just skulking all over the place.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny, Dave Plouffe in the YouTube chat. It's funny that how you mentioned that because when I was watching that, that's the first thing that popped into my head when we were about ready to go on because I love that scene when Fay Ray and Lionel Atwill first kiss.
Mm-hmm. Lionel Atwill, you mean Carl? The other guy.
Yeah, Carl. I'm getting them mixed up. We're half baked.
Half baked.
The cork stopper pops off of the one, flask. So that was Echo. And she looks at it's and you wonder what
she
the
was
hell happened.
Foxy, man.
She was foxy.
She was. Ain't no one better.
No,
one today holds a candle.
But even they didn't show her enough in this movie. And,
no, they never do.
And King Kong, man, just that's where I'm never gonna forget her when she had publicity photo shoots during that movie and all that. And there's just some shots where beauty doesn't get any better than that.
No, it don't.
I mean. Let's just
blonde or brunette, it didn't matter. I know that hair was fake. But.
Take a second just to think of that. Fay Ray. Anyways, thank you, Dave, for reminding me of that.
Right, so they're gonna get a posse,
losing them
to go find Herman, and then there's a scene where Herman's skulking around the garden of this very house.
Yeah.
And the Aunt Gussie's out there, and she's being nice. I don't think she realizes what's going on.
Right.
And like I said, she's the hypochondriac kind of character. They show her looking in the medical book, using the doctor's stethoscope. Right. She is kind of a funny character. It is. She is. I mean, there's no reason for her to be that way. It's just a funny kind of character.
Well, she is.
She's a worry funny. One. And this sheriff's got to get her blessing
right
before. So he's trying to be getting good with her too.
Yeah.
Because she's the one that's going to decide if he can marry her or not, evidently.
Right.
So, Herman, he has to, run off, steals a couple apples out of the basket. I don't think he does anything. I think he cuts himself, and she was going to, he suck the blood or whatever,
right.
like a bat.
Yeah.
He kind of takes off. But when the townspeople kind of get hold of him, it's an interesting scene because I don't think any of the ones that you're going to see online, they all have the pitchforks.
Well, that's
and
the thing.
torches.
In the remastered version, well, first of all, this is kind of like a Frankenstein scene where they're all, going after Herman like he's Frankenstein.
Let's get him!
And they've all got torches.
Burn the witch!
Yeah, and they're running after him with torches through the village and in between like the mountains and
Before
stuff like
I die,
that.
I want to do that. I want to have a torch and just
run
chasing somebody.
We can do that. But the cool thing...
With about 85 other people.
Because you mentioned it. You said in the remastered version they colorized the fire on the torches.
In some prints, when this originally came out, they hand-colored the flames on the torches.
Yeah.
Not really sure why.
But I'll tell you what, it was fantastic.
Is that what you saw? You saw, because I didn't watch that version. So
I seen that version.
So what they did is when UCLA
it was awesome.
was restoring this, they digitally recreated that scene.
Right.
I don't know if they give you the option to watch it without it. So evidently it looked kind of cool because except for stills, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, imagine all black and white with those red flames looking real. Just added some kind, just added a beauty to the film that just, you're like, okay.
Was that on Amazon?
That was... No. I got myself a copy of the remastered version.
Okay. Because Amazon's got two different ones, but they're both like the same.
Yeah.
So.
No, I got myself the remastered version.
All right.
But it was beautiful. It really added to the effect of the scene, and really I can see why they did that, and it was very cool.
No, it's just kind of a little bit of an odd thing to do, but I'd be curious to see what it looked like. So I'll probably try to seek that out. See what that scene looks like.
But they're, mad mob after Herman, and out to get him. And
chase him up into some caves.
Yeah, and Herman's, he's scared.
Maybe this is where he lives. I don't know. He collects bats. There's lots of bats in caves, lots of guano.
Yeah, lots of... It's very healthy for you.
And, they even tell him, we're not going to hurt you. Just come on, we're going to take you to town. And, yeah, right. And he's on a ledge and he just chooses to jump off.
Yeah.
They don't knock him off. He jumps.
You hear,
and then we're done with Dwight Frye.
Yeah, and Dwight Frye dies. It's such a...
Dwight Frye die.
Dwight Frye die.
Yeah, they say, he's down there about 50 feet laying on the ledge.
Well, and they go to make sure because they think he's still
what are they going to do, drive a stake through his heart or something?
Well, they did.
They did.
But
God, poor
yeah, and Dr. or Carl asked, about what happened and stuff, and they said they did put a stake through his heart, and that's when he comes and he tells them that, it's a shame because was just another death in the house, and there's no way Herman could have done it.
The housekeeper, maid, whatever.
Yeah.
Aunt Gussie finds her upstairs, past dead.
Yeah.
But she has the cross that Dwight Frye's character had that he got from that lady at the beginning that was really sick. So they're thinking it has to be. And
Dr. Otto is that's his whole thing. He's blaming and pushing
setting this all up,
setting it up for Herman to be the one. But
and I think as far as her dying, did he use his assistant to kill her? Is that what happened? I'm trying to remember back a week ago.
We're towards the end of the film. Again, it's a quick movie, and that's where we got that creepy scene where he's kind of creeping on the roof, and he's going to look into the room, and eventually he goes into the room. But yeah, his character he also has this like really long cape, which was it's like he's an ordinary person. He's not a vampire.
No.
But
maybe it's just to create the illusion.
He's able, yeah.
That's obviously what Dr. Von Niemann's trying to do, is create that illusion that there's a vampire.
And to make the movie, Frank R. Strayer directing it, I don't know if it was his, thought process to, or if the writer, Edward T. Lowe Jr., ended up putting that, in that, let's
you
put
said that like you knew that off the top of your head.
I did. Let's put the cape on and make him look like kind of a... Because he looks like one of the older... Like one of the vampires in the 70s. I'm trying to remember. The guy with the mustache, if you can remember who I'm talking about. It wasn't a Hammer movie, I don't believe. But he was a vampire in one of those movies.
Blackula had a mustache.
It wasn't that. It was,
I mean, Christopher Lee played it.
It was an older gentleman, and I'm not sure who that was. Ed Stewart in the YouTube chat. The Devil Bat is another good one.
Bela Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi, yes.
I watched that one.
Oh, wait, heck!
I just went through Amazon Prime. Anything with Bela Lugosi, it's just in my watch list.
No, he forked them out, man, in the day. He forked them out. But let's conclude this movie. Pretty.
So we get a scene of Dr. Von Niemann, Lionel Atwell, actually telepathically controlling his...
Which was a plot hole because I didn't understand that. They
didn't really say, like...
Nobody has supernatural powers.
To do that?
Yeah.
And
he's going to go into a room and get... I'm like...
And then...
how is this possible?
What we see, like, before they find her in the bed is they're in the lab.
Right.
And there is some... This is what we're going to find out exactly, that it's him and what he's doing.
Right.
There's some type of organism in a jar.
Right.
And
looks like a heart or a brain or weird.
Or something.
I don't know. Who knows?
It's
they
pulsating,
don't say.
So we presume it's alive.
Yeah, it's weird.
And this is the maid.
Yeah.
He's got her in a chair. She's passed out. And he puts this little device around her neck.
Yeah.
And you can tell that, like, right here is where the punctures will go in.
Right.
And that's connected to a tube that's draining her blood into a tube. And evidently he needs this blood to keep this organism alive. Right. This is why I love pre-code.
Yeah.
Because once the code came in, you never saw, like, blood and stuff like that coming down like that. Yeah. Like, pre-code rules.
Love
good.
pre-code.
I mean, you got really cool horror movies pre-code.
Check them out. The pre-code.
Island of Lost Souls, all the universals.
Anyways, So it was a strange device collar that punctured and let that blood out, and it was very, very cool. But
so we know it's him. We know he can control his assistant.
Yeah.
And so that's who is, kidnapping these people. They're draining their blood and evidently bringing them back. And, that's what they do. They put her back in the bed. Aunt Gussie finds her. She's already dead. And it's...
Celtic Girl asks, how long does it take you before we conclude to drive over to the house here, the studio?
For me to come over here? Oh, we live in the same neighborhood. He literally lives
5 minutes, 3 minutes.
He's actually on the next street over from me, but
farther,
a little bit further down, and there's like a main intersection.
Yeah,
but
so
we've
close.
Always, except for the one time you lived in Strongsville, we've always lived close together. So.
Oh, you know what, Ed? Thank you very much, Ed Stewart. Don't ask me why I was going later. But Lon Chaney had a mustache in Son of Dracula. That's who I'm thinking.
He did, or
I think
is
that's
it Son of Dracula, or House of Dracula, whichever one he was in. Yeah, I know he played Dracula.
Yeah, but that's who I'm thinking of.
You thinking that one?
Yeah.
Or there was John Carradine. John Carradine had a mustache when he played Dracula as well. That was House of Dracula.
What year was that?
45.
Okay, yeah.
So it could have been John Carradine.
Yeah, one of the other. But thank you very much. That's bringing up that stuff.
No, we're
but
always,
yeah, no,
we're close by. Our kids are. Well, they consider each other cousins, and so there won't be any intermixing.
Yeah.
No, we've always
we're close.
Actually, we used to live in the same apartment building. He lived.
Oh God! Let's say 30 years of history or whatever. But anyways, right? That was oh my God. Anyways,
he always had a babysitter.
Anyways, so to conclude this movie, his Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Ends up he's dressed in a cloak. He comes in while this is happening.
Wait, Carl,
isn't it Carl?
Not the sheriff, the other dude.
No, he comes in.
Oh, but wait, before that...
Yeah, he...
because Carl still doesn't realize...
Oh, wait, we got somebody else. Hold on. Bob Gable in the YouTube chat. How you doing? I thought you were doing a live reaction with some stops, obviously. I do like your channel. Thank you, Bob Gable. You know what? What's been going on is... I started up this whole old-time radio show, which will be playing overnights. So plenty of stuff, there will be coming every night usually. But me and Ted always, for the past 4 years, Tuesday nights around 9 o'clock, around this time, talk about a movie, review a movie. It used to be commentaries that we would do. But now we just, go on, talk about a movie that we watched, for that week.
Typically older stuff.
So,
yes, maybe through the 80s. Usually nothing new, but...
yeah, so that's kind of
oldies but goodies.
Kind of what we do. And,
this one.
Yeah. And then again, now a new addition to Kelsey on Thursdays, which will probably get some newer type movies. Because me and Ted love the classics and stuff. But
it'd be hard to get me to watch some of these newer ones. You're a brave man.
Let's see, Ed Stewart. Yeah, John did too. Celtic Girl. Hopefully you guys are enjoying just us babbling a little bit. But
I enjoy it.
The old time radio shows will be coming too. Celtic Girl, that is so cool. You guys have to talk on a future stream when there is more time about how you became friends. I never heard the story.
Met at Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Love it, says Bob Gable. Any
Midnight
old
screening.
movies to the early 80s. There you go. That's right. That is what we are all about usually on this channel.
Yeah, just that little chunk of time there, the 30s to the 80s.
And Celtic Girl, maybe we'll dive into that one day. We've, you know what?
We can just do a shoot the shit show.
Shoot the shit show. But you know what? Over the years here,
Create your list of questions, everyone.
Every week, I mean, we've kind of... If you've watched every one of our videos, which I guess they tally about 300 now, I don't know, but
if you have nothing else to
do. We've talked about everything in our life, everything, just about.
Yeah, your crabs.
But yeah, we've gone into deep. But anyways, to conclude.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Carl,
Yeah.
The doctor tries to give him some sleeping pills.
Yeah.
And
that's a little earlier, but go ahead. Yeah.
But the bottle says poison, and then it says sleeping pills on it.
Poison sleeping pills.
I like you gotta love a movie that's got about and it says poison.
Poison on sleeping pills.
I mean, all it needed was like skull and crossbones.
Yeah. Take some of these.
Take 2 of these and call me over with the intention of killing him.
Right.
Yeah, because he's going to get in the way. And this is where, because the idea is to, suck his blood out. And that's when he uses the telepathy to send his assistant out to go get him.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back, I think this is what you were getting to.
Yeah.
You want to finish her up? Or?
Yeah. Let me just go back really quick, and then we'll finish it up. I saw a little bit of Kelsey. She sounded good, says Celtic Girl. Yeah, no, very good. Please check out those videos on Thursdays. Yes,
she got her own channel or something, or does she just come over here? No,
she's here.
She's exclusive.
Dave Plouffe. Yes, Lon Chaney did sport a mustache in House of Dracula. Ed Stewart says, even old silence. Oh, you better believe it, man. We
haven't done one on the show.
We haven't.
Have we?
We've talked about it. But
we're certainly fans. We just don't always know if we'd be able to keep you around for the whole thing.
Well, I mean, hell, some of these old movies, we don't keep people around anyways. But anyway, Bob Gable, I fell asleep to old-time radios all the time, but you should do reaction videos. They seem to get views. Good luck. Well, thanks, Bob Gable. Yeah, we've been a lot.
We've done some trailer reactions on occasion. If something looks interesting.
Lionel Atwill was also in House of Dracula, Dave Plouffe. And I have to give a shout-out here to Kimberly Ayers. She says, hey, guys. She loves the old-time radio shows, and she's been up plenty of nights here in the chat. I do see you, Kimberly, all the time. I usually try to respond if I don't get to you because it's 12 hours. So, it's
what else you got to do?
Catch up, But, came over, I think, with the old-time radio show. So thank you very much for that and supporting. So nice to see you in here. And one last Celtic Girl is Lionel Atwell his real name? Yes.
As far as I know, unless it's a stage name of sorts. But,
unless he changed it from his birth name,
but
which
he's been
a lot
in
of
lots
actors
of
did
what is he?
then.
I mean, apart from Mystery of the Wax Museum, which is a really cool movie.
Yeah.
What else has he been in?
Well, let's end this movie.
Oh, I guess.
Real quick, and then we could talk about
Lionel Atwell.
Huh? Well, we could talk about that, but we should.
Oh, Dr. X.
Dr. X, Captain Blood, Sherlock Holmes and the Secret Weapon.
Dr. X would be a good one to see, and Mystery of the Wax Museum. If you find him, especially Mystery of the Wax Museum.
Yeah.
If you can find that to watch.
Charlie Chan in Panama. He played in a lot of the old movies back then. Charlie Chan in Panama he was played into. But okay, so basically he comes in, sees what's going on in the whatever you call it. What do you call it?
Well, he's in the lab.
The lab.
And what we think is his assistant is got like a gurney or whatever. And we figure, oh man, there's Carl.
And another plot hole, because we wonder why the heck his assistant says, no, I'm going to take care of him. So he...
Carl was too smart to take those pills. He knew this wasn't vampires.
Carl runs out, and
he's the one disguised as the assistant.
Yes, and his real assistant, ends up shooting him and killing him,
or shooting
the
Dr. Von Neumann, and then himself.
Which leads us to the end of the movie, where we don't understand. I mean, we know what's going on. He's draining the blood for whatever
we don't know what that
thing is, but that's it.
It could have been the cure to all diseases.
Yeah.
And you just had to sacrifice a few lives.
Yeah, so I don't know. There was no vampire. It was this doctor who was draining the blood of all these people to feed this thing. And
they just show it really briefly, and then you're just supposed to figure that out. Yeah,
you have no idea what the movie's really about.
Audiences back then must have been very forgiving of things like that.
But I still enjoyed the movie.
I did too.
That's
mostly for Dwight Frye.
That's the funny part. Oh yeah,
and Lionel Atwell. I mean,
for sure.
It's got. If you like old horror movies pre-code like these, this is a great cast.
Kimberly, yes, she goes. Yes, Sherlock Holmes and Charlie Chan. My two favorite old-time radio shows of all time.
Or movie series.
Sherlock Holmes or movie series. Yes, Charlie Chan.
This is the guy.
Warner Olin and Sidney Toler.
I gotta start watching them.
For some reason, I really love the Sidney Toler movies better because they're more cheesier, especially with Benson.
Which one's got Mantan Moreland in it?
He was in most of the Sidney Toler ones, Mantan Moreland. But Sherlock Holmes with Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce, unbelievable, fantastic. It's just, I cannot begin to tell you how much I love those films.
You ever listen to that Mantan Moreland stand-up comedy I gave you? Filthy.
Oh yeah, filthy.
He was filthy.
Mantan Moreland was a filthy man. And if you watch any of his
Pryor and Red Fox to shame,
and if you watch any of his other movies other than
and he did a lot of those. What are
those comedy movies?
I'm thinking. Back then, there was black film productions,
right?
With all black characters.
It was yes.
I'm trying to think of one that I watched.
There was one called Spook.
Something with the ghost. It might have been something like that.
Yeah, and
there was him and another one kind of walking down the road, got nothing between them.
Yeah,
and end up winning a car like with a dice game.
Yeah,
or something like that.
And Ghosts in the Cemetery. He ends up taking over a restaurant type thing.
These are really good movies.
They are good movies.
I mean, there are actors in it that you probably don't know. Unless you know, like I knew Mantan Moreland.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah, there was just like black productions.
Yeah, totally.
And a lot of people don't realize, there were off to the side there were these other movies.
And if you search Mantan Moreland on YouTube and check out, you'll see playlists of him. Some of them are hard to find, but if you find the right one, there's a couple people who have like all of his movies that are like just totally all black production, like all black actors, everything. And that's where you'll find, some of them are so grainy, so dark, but they're there. It's like the back in the day when you were watching your little black radio or black TV, watching your black radio, your TV. And no, some of them are fantastic.
One I watch, I'm sitting there in the bed just laughing my butt off.
But those are just fantastic. Let me see if I'm missing anything here in the YouTube chat. Love that you guys are interacting here. You guys, I did see. Let's see. Where am I at? Thank you for clarifying, Dave. Absolutely. They lived in the movie theater all day in the summer because it was the only place with air conditioning. True. Yeah. I listened.
And you could sit there all day, not like today, you know.
Yeah.
Or even in the 80s, you could kind of go all day.
Right.
But
yeah, Celtic Girl says, I listen most when you play the radio shows with the English accents. Yep. Bob Gable, I think Dino and Ted should create a late film noir channel. I'm all for that.
That's you know.
Well, I mean, that's the late
we could
show.
always put one on here. We've done. Did we do Maltese Falcon?
We did do Maltese Falcon on here. I think we did a commentary on that on this channel. If you go back and look,
gangster pictures, film noir. I mean,
hey, the Late Horror Show is evolving at the moment, and it's consisting of the old time radio shows.
Yeah.
It's consisting of what we do here with classic horror, with Kelsey with some newer horror,
and we've tried to mix it up with other stuff, but creating another channel.
Yeah,
but I'd rather just, like you said, keep everything under one house.
And I think we can do film noir. It's under the umbrella of the Late Horror Show.
You go back, one of our highest watch shows is the 3.5 hours. It's a mad world.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
We did the whole.
Yeah, I mean, the channel is called the Late Horror Show, and the majority is that.
Movies.
But to bring in film noir, which is I love the genre. I
remember Arsenic and Old Lace. We did that one.
Yeah,
with Cary Grant. That was so hard.
Well, that was a comedy
because it was. So quick, you had to keep talking the whole time to describe it.
Yeah.
That was a hard comment.
Yep. 3B Video, hey guys, what's going on, Roger? Appreciate you stopping by, man.
Yes.
We're talking old stuff, man, here. So let's see. My uncle, says Celtic Girl, said these films were called blaxploitation films. Like, I guess it was in the genre. You know what? Not so much the
70s
older.
Was
70s was the exploitation, sexploitation type movies that started to evolve.
The ones from the 70s are what they would call blaxploitation, Shaft. Let me see.
Yeah, the ones in the 40s weren't really called, but yeah, maybe he's looking that up there. But
I just wonder if there's like a term that they used.
Kimberly Ayers, Charlie Chan at the Opera with Boris Karloff. Yes. Boris Karloff played in some Abbott Costello. He did a lot. He was even in the Marx Brothers. I think Marx Brothers at the Circus.
I'm just seeing like Black Heritage.
But films, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember. Blackula was so underrated, says Ed Stewart. Yeah,
it's on Amazon. You can revisit it.
Yeah.
You're like, yep.
Thanks, Dave. My fave Cary Grant movie. How about The Bat with Vincent Price? Oh, yeah.
Yep. We haven't done that, but yeah, I've definitely seen that.
We did a movie called The Bat.
But it was different.
It was a different one. It was more of an early...
It was like a noir.
Film noir, but a very, very early one. Like a late... What year was that again? 39 or 40 or something?
It was around that time, but there was the model work for the city and the cars driving through. It was really...
It was the inspiration for the original... For the Batman character.
Yeah.
That would go on to DC.
They had watched Fritz Lang's Metropolis.
Yeah.
And did something kind of like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the cinematographers
very cool.
And the people that worked on U.S. films were from Germany. And, even in Dracula, the cinematographer is one of the ones from German Silence.
Yeah, Ed Stewart says 70 to 74 for those films. Yeah. That was the big chunk of blaxploitation.
Nothing else really to call them except just, all black films. They probably played in those particular neighborhoods.
Yeah. Because there was so much in the black culture.
And I think it was all...
Back in the day that...
Black writers, black directors. I think it was just, completely...
But they were entrenched in the entertainment business with the dancing, with the music. Yep. I mean, so it was the comic scene, the stage performances. So it was only a natural kind of progression for them to do kind of a thing like that.
Did their own.
And
these weren't big Hollywood movies. It was just everybody, but
it was fantastic.
Talented people and some very funny movies.
Oh, you know what? Mantan Moreland and a lot of the Charlie Chan
You
movies
just look at him and laugh.
made.
All he's got to do is get that look, like he's seeing a ghost.
Oh, he's nonstop. He's scared. He's scared.
He sort of is like a shorter, fatter version of. If you watch the Three Stooges movies, there's always like that the black cook or something like that. And, this house show going crazy or something. Kind of like that guy.
Yeah.
With the eyes that'll bug out.
Right. No, he was fantastic, and I loved him in all of the Charlie Chans and anything else he did.
Sometime. I'll get to him.
Yeah, you know what? They're fantastic. With between Mantan Moreland and Number One Son, which is done a lot of times by Benson Fong, who and there were a couple other sons who came in, but he was the main one with Mantan Moreland. That they were all.
They always say like Confucius say. Confucius say.
He would say that a lot in the earlier ones. Sidney Toler got away with not saying that a whole lot, but
which is the movie where he says Confucius say, "Man who go to bed with itchy butt, wake up with smelly finger."
Yeah, that's you. Let's see. The Bat, 1927. That's right, Ed Stewart. That is it. That is the one.
27?
I
27, is it?
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
Not that early.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Anyways, yeah, let's see if you can see. Yeah.
I will.
I have never seen Blackula. I will watch that.
I mean, don't have high expectations.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Academy Award winning, but any Alfred Hitchcock is a must watch. But says Bob Gable, yes, without a doubt. I mean,
I just got done on
I don't think there was any.
I just got done with a Hitchcock flick.
Was there any bad Alfred Hitchcock flicks?
Yes, there's bad Alfred Hitchcock.
Is there?
Movies.
I'm trying to think back. But
oh my God, even
he was a jewel thief.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's plenty of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
I was reading. Okay, we all love The Birds. All right, Birds, great movie.
Yeah.
Rod Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay, great actor.
Right.
He's being directed by the assistant director.
Right.
The first couple days he's there. They're making The Birds, and he's not being directed by Alfred Hitchcock yet. Right. Finally says, when is Alfred Hitchcock? When is he going to come and direct? He's like, he's sleeping in his trailer. The guy didn't even direct half the friggin' movie.
Listen here.
I'm just telling you.
Listen here.
A lot of people want to worship at the altar of Hitchcock, and Hitchcock was great, but he didn't write all his material.
Right.
And this is what I argue with, because my favorite director is Stanley Kubrick. Right. At least Stanley Kubrick wrote his material, one exception aside, Spartacus. But
okay,
at least he was on set, actually directing
the
actors. Go. But that's true story. Rod Taylor was filming it and was not directed by.
Was knocked up. Dave Plouffe says Boris Karloff was also great as Mr. Wong. Yes, he did play Mr. Wong.
I can't even find this. Are you sure it was called The Bat? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, Peter Lorre played Mr. Wong. Boris Karloff played Fu Manchu.
He did, yes.
Am I getting these? Dave, you might be messing me up. The Adventures, the Mr. Wong was Peter Lorre. Did Boris Karloff play a Mr. Wong? He may have. But, Bela Lugosi also played Fu Manchu in one movie. So they all dabbled a little bit in that Oriental kind of... These were actually books before they were movies and series, like the Nancy Drews and stuff like that, Charlie Chan's and all that. But now you got me wondering, and I wasn't ready to go deep into this with the Mr. Wongs, Fu Manchus and stuff like that. But Peter Lorre was fantastic in those movies. I think
The Bat Whispers.
The Bat Whispers.
That's it. The Bat Whispers, 1930. 27 or whatever was
close enough.
The Bat Whispers
is the movie. Yeah,
and it was the inspiration for Batman.
Okay, so
it says,
and we did do the full commentary on the Bat Whispers. That's what we were thinking. So
that was
you guys got us going in these old movies, and yeah, we're trying to remember back and think. But fantastic.
That was still at. That was like.
The Bat was also in the 1930s. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of movies called The Bat, but this was The Bat Whispers.
Bob Gable says, you do got balls if you're going to downgrade Hitch. I agree.
Hey.
Ted can have his opinion.
I love Hitchcock, but to say
he hears one story that he was
but to say that he made 8,000 movies. You're going to say they're all masterpieces?
Hey, well, I'm not going to say that, but
Kubrick was a great director.
I'm trying to think of a bad movie.
Starting in 2001.
Bring me a bad movie.
Arguably.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Any of his later ones. Pick.
Of Alfred Hitchcock?
Yeah. Family Plot. I mean, they're not great. They're not... he's got that core of really great films.
Of course.
The Vertigo, the North by Northwest, Psycho,
Rear Window.
Rear Window.
Yes.
All right?
My favorite.
My opinion...
Strangers on a Train. Anyway.
If you've got those 5 movies, maybe a few others, you got everything you need from him.
Dave, are you saying that to Ted? Is he messed up? Yeah.
Kubrick starting arguably with Dr. Strangelove, but definitely with 2001. Yeah. It's masterpiece after masterpiece after masterpiece.
Well, no, you're not going to have me argue about Stanley Kubrick.
That's
right. But
I'm not really comparing the two.
I
just say when I say he's my favorite, someone will always mention Hitchcock.
Ted here's a story, that Alfred Hitchcock.
You're trying to tell me that don't sound...
He had the flu that day, possibly, and had to go lay down for a little bit, and he's telling...
Days?
He's telling us that,
Go look it up. It's on the internet. It has to be true.
Oh, yeah, no, I got it. Shadow of a Doubt, says Kimberly Ayers.
There you go. No good.
Another fantastic Alfred Hitchcock. The TV show wasn't always good.
That's right. Well,
yeah.
All he had to do was show up and say, "Good evening."
Good evening. Now, who? Yeah, I think he even had other people on, writing some of those, shows and stuff like that. But
bad Hitchcock movies.
Oh God, here we go. Let's see what he's got on the agenda.
No, we're just going to see. Oh, he only made 29 movies. I thought he made way more than that because I know he made some silence.
Yeah, see,
but let's see, from worst to Under Capricorn, 1949. Never even heard of it. Torn Curtain. See. Paul Newman, the next bad one. Family Plot. Just like I told you, it's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Terrible movie. Topaz. Terrible movie. I confess I haven't seen the parody. See, there's a lot here I haven't seen. To Catch a Thief. A lot of people don't like To Catch a Thief.
Well, yeah.
I like Cary Grant.
A lot of people nuts.
Cary Grant, Grace Kelly, that's always something good to look at.
The silent version of The Bat, 1926. Roland West was the director. Okay. Ed Stewart, man. You know your stuff. Very good, man.
Dial M for Murder. People don't like that one, man. I'll tell you what.
Dial M for Murder
I'll tell you
good.
What. I'm going to go to the top 10, and I'll bet you it'll be all the ones that I just freaking mentioned.
Well, Ted, of course.
Strangers on a Train.
Yeah.
Spellbound. Okay. That's
Wait, are you going 1, 2, 3?
No, this is 10. 10.
Okay.
This is just a website called Taste of Cinema.
But
I usually like their lists.
My favorite Alfred Hitchcock of all time is Rear Window.
Strangers on a Train is number 10.
Just a love.
Spellbound is number 9.
Yeah.
Lifeboat, just was fair.
Yeah.
Number 8. Rope is number 7. And Rope is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Shadow of a Doubt, yeah, that's in there. Notorious. North by Northwest. Rear Window at number 3. Psycho at number 2.
Okay.
And Vertigo at number 1. Okay, now if you don't like Vertigo, you just don't like movies.
Yeah,
it's so lush.
Well, I would be Rear Window, Psycho, then Vertigo. Mm-hmm. That would be my order.
I love Vertigo.
And so I'm
not saying the man can't make a movie.
And then Strangers on the Train. Here, I'm getting my top 10 right away.
There you go. He didn't even direct The Birds, man. The assistant director directed The Birds.
Yeah, whatever.
Rod Taylor's pissed off. Never work with him
Roxy
again.
W says Rope. Yeah, Rope.
Rope's pretty good.
Yes,
I just watched it again not too long ago.
Celtic Girl says The Shining is a masterpiece, and Stephen King didn't even like Stanley's version. Insane.
Stephen King's a coked up drunk.
You know what?
He ain't written a good book.
Come on, man. Stephen King did not like most of his movies he shot. And
he likes the worst ones. The ones that are absolute shit. Oh, it's good.
Do you think it's possible that Stephen King's just beating around? No. He's just goofing with us. No. You think he's just goofing with us?
The problem is that Shining was particularly personal because it's about an alcoholic and he was dealing with his alcoholism. So that one's a little bit more personal to him. And I'm sorry, Kubrick made a better movie than you made a book. I mean...
but him saying, I mean, he hates a lot of his movies.
Yeah, and look at the version of that movie that he liked, the miniseries one with Rob Lowe.
Which one was that?
It was a TV miniseries version.
Oh,
of The Shining, yeah. There's something that you can get diarrhea to.
Right. Dave Plouffe says his order is Psycho, Rear Window, Lifeboat, Sabotage. Mm-hmm. Okay, I can't disagree with that.
I'd say you got to put Vertigo first. It's so beautiful to look at. Well, it's such a lovely movie. Then I'd put Rear Window.
Yeah.
Then I'd put... the Psycho might be at the end, man. I like North by Northwest a little better.
Okay.
I like...
again, I don't know how
like
you can go wrong with too many of them,
Psycho,
really.
I mean... Psycho, I've seen it a million damn times.
Kimberly Ayers just rewatched The Stand.
The miniseries one, yeah. They're supposed to be doing another one. I love
Yeah, why not? Let's do it, yeah.
The Stand wasn't bad, and I love the book.
Let's remake Creepshow. Why not?
Creepshow doesn't hold up all that well. I'm going to be perfect. I watched it with my kids because all summer long we watched horror movies. They have officially watched all the classics.
You watched horror movies?
Horror movies.
I watched horror movies.
They've watched them all.
They're scared.
My 8-year-old and my 11-year-old, they are officially schooled in classic horror movies.
Riding the Bullet, yes.
And they didn't really like Creepshow that much.
Huh.
They didn't think it,
well,
really, the only story I like is the one with Stephen King in it.
Yeah. It's a bit dated. I mean, I liked it. I mean, of course I love Creepshow.
It just doesn't hold up as much. And plus...
It doesn't. It doesn't hold up.
A little long. It's about 2 hours long, and I don't have any problem with long movies.
Right.
But there's a couple stories that are kind of
Celtic Girl says King's series of The Shining was unwatchable, really bad. I think he was envious of Kubrick. Ed Stewart says Rob Lowe also did series of Salem's Lot.
Is that the one I'm thinking, or did he do both?
No, he did Salem's Lot.
But he did The Shining as well, right? He did them both?
No, I thought The Shining was redone with what's his name from The Breakfast Club? What's his name? You don't know The Breakfast
Club? I know that. I'm trying to think who would have
Anthony Michael Hall.
No, he did the Dead Zone TV show.
I know he did the Dead Zone TV show.
You're all...
We're all messed up.
But anyway, we all agree that they suck.
Yeah.
Well, we did a 3-hour commentary on the original Salem's Lot
We did.
Alice Cooper's favorite horror movie.
Go back and...
why do I say that? Because Alice Cooper and I have the same birthday. And there's a song called The Ballad of Dwight Frye.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, do a search for Salem's Lot, the Late Late Horror Show.
3 hours.
3-hour commentary. If you want to sit with us...
James Mason worship.
Why we talk about Salem's Lot,
Wouldn't you love to have been scolded by James Mason? You're such a little bastard.
You're just a little bastard, yeah.
I can't even talk like him. I can't do it justice.
Twilight Zone, the movie, sucked too. So does Bob Gable.
You know what? Dude, I'm with him on that. I don't think it's that great at all. And, I mean, I remember, because I'm a big movie collector, and that movie went out of print.
Yeah.
And people were paying out the nose to get that movie. And, why? It's not that damn good. It's sappy. It's it's too Spielbergy, even though I know he did the one part. It's just the whole movie sucks.
Kimberly Ayers says, people around these parts call me Mother Abigail. I'm 106 years old and still make my own bread. A couple stories were okay. Twilight Zone TV show was the best show ever on TV. I don't know if I would disagree with you, Bob. I mean, Twilight Zone, Ted.
I love Twilight Zone.
It's
just not my favorite TV show.
I go through the whole collection. For sci-fi, even horror kind of TV series,
it was good.
Fantastic.
You know what? There's not too many. It's kind of like Star Trek. There's not too many bad ones.
Right.
Yeah. I'm talking the original Star Trek.
I haven't seen a bad original Twilight Zone that I didn't like.
Yeah, I mean, there's some where the stories aren't as good. Like when they went to the hour-long format, it was maybe dragging it out a little bit. But I mean, the ones that are great and the most memorable, they're fantastic,
Yeah, definitely.
But it's not my favorite TV show, but I do love Twilight Zone. I miss I don't know if they still do it, the New Year's Day marathon.
Yeah.
Remember they'd always do that. You get the good ones.
Celtic Girl, they play it on my retro channel, the Shining TV version. Ed Stewart.
I'll know to avoid that channel.
Saw Alice Cooper in 1971 in Detroit.
Damn.
Cody Ray, what is up?
Damn.
Nice to see you. Decent
that
movie.
was when
Ed Stewart.
I'm gonna talk to
Ed Stewart.
See, that's when Alice Cooper
was that.
And that's when Alice Cooper was a band, not a person.
Right.
You know, and actually, those are the only Alice Cooper records I have. You know, I've got his other digitally on my iTunes.
Right.
But the ones I actually have the albums of are just those.
Yeah.
You know, Muscle of Love and Love It to Death, and even the weird. I mean, Pretty's for You I think it's from '69. People don't really realize Alice Cooper was making records in '69. He knew all those guys, and
well, my favorite band, The Cure, they were in
early 70s or mid 70s.
Early 70s, mid 70s. Yep.
So
been a long time. Man.
I mean, it was just
inducted
dirty
in the Hall of
and
Fame.
loose,
But yeah.
and that's when he went off on his own, it was a little bit more polished and theatrical. I liked it when it was a little bit more dirty and loose. So 71 would have been a good time to see Cooper. That'd have been good.
Excellent, man. It was nice to spawn off and to talk this older
Alice.
stuff, man, and different things. But so half the show is about the vampire bat, and the other half is just.
Well, since it was a short movie, we gave you a little extra.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, they do on Sci-Fi. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they used to do it, and then I remember on June 1st, Cartoon Network used to do June Bugs. And it was like all weekend, just Bugs Bunny cartoons. It was just manna from heaven.
Yeah.
And it's sad that kids today don't even know who Bugs Bunny. My kids do.
Oh God.
But kids don't know. Their cousins, they don't know who the hell Bugs Bunny is.
Yeah, it's in the '69 at the Whiskey Go-Go.
What's that?
Ed Stewart said.
Alice
Cooper. Bob Gable in my New York, New Jersey. They also do Honeymooners marathons on Channel 11 on
now see, that's probably my favorite show.
I've got that whole collection, the lost episodes, everything.
That's probably my favorite show.
Honeymooners.
My daughter bought me that a few years ago.
Ralph
for
Crampton,
Christmas.
Ed Norton. But when they redid it without
it's got to be
two
those
ladies.
Four. It's got to be those four.
Yeah, it just wasn't the same. They did try, and I'm like going, oh no, you need. Yeah,
I always thought Alice was foxy, man. She was cute.
Celtic Nightwish have some awesome gothic horror music. Yeah.
I've seen them. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot she's a fan of them. Yeah. Actually, the current singer Fleur Jansen, she just posted a video of her doing a cover of "Let It Go" from Frozen for her daughter, but it's sort of like a mild heavy metal version.
Yeah. Roxy W says, best I've seen lately, Let the Right One In and Let Me In. Let the Right One In, the Swedish version, fantastic.
They're both good. You know what? They're both good.
They're both all right, but
there's things about both that are good, but none of them, I know you haven't read the book. I've read the book. None of them touch that book.
That's what you said, and I got to read the book, yeah. But I fell in love with Let the Right One In so badly.
You wouldn't have seen that movie if it wasn't for me, probably.
Yeah, hey.
But I like them both. I just, you know what? I like the... what do I like in the
Kimberly Ayers, great old-time radio program.
What do I like in Let Me In a little better? What do I like? Well, I like the idea of the police officer.
Okay.
Him trying to solve it. And that particular actor, I can't remember his name.
I forget.
It's on the tip of my tongue. He's in a ton of movies, but I like him.
Yeah. And that was the biggest difference between
kind of
the
acid scene. Yeah. I liked the instead of him going skulking in the woods
with the cats.
I liked it in the woods for people, which is actually what I think was going on in the book.
Yeah.
I did really dig that. Finding a car that's open, putting that garbage bag over your head with the one eye and just laying in the back.
Oh,
that's
creepy.
That is creepy.
But
so that was it's like, I wish I could have just had a little bit of this and a little bit of that and put it all together as one movie.
Right.
But they're both. I can't judge anybody if one likes one over the other. But I do.
Roxy W. I'll read the book then. Yeah.
Oh, it's.
Yeah, Ted recommends highly.
You do find the backstory of Ellie, how he, she, whatever, was turned. Her guardian, I can't remember his name, I mean, he's definitely a pervert. So if that kind of stuff will bother you, I'm just going to come around and say he's a pedophile. All right?
Yeah.
If that kind of stuff bothers you, that is in the book.
Yeah.
But and it's not that I'm a fan of it, obviously, but it's just that it fleshes it all out, and then you understand.
It's funny because she used him for that too.
She knew what he was, and would basically he would always want to like lay next to her or something like that, and she'd let him, but you gotta, or he would let whatever, but you got to do this, So it was she would use her, his weakness to control him, basically,
and get what she needs.
So, and there's more of that in the book, and there's a little bit more of. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. In the book, none of them are particularly likable. I mean, Oscar is.
Thank you, Celtico.
Basically on his way to being a serial killer. You get a little hint of it. In the movies. In the book, he's definitely a bedwetter. He even wears a. In the book, they call it a piss ball.
Right.
He has to take like a big piece of foam, like from a mattress, and put his penis in it in case he wets himself.
Right.
Well, it's just stuff like that. He's definitely, and I think once she senses that, she's grooming him to be the next one.
Yeah.
It's not so much a love story like the movie. She's grooming him to be her next caregiver.
Oh yeah.
Or guardian.
Yeah. And that was what was fantastic about it. There was you say not a love connection, but there was a connection there, an emotional one.
And I do think there becomes a connection. Yeah. Because he even wrote a epilogue to the book called, I forgot what it's called. It's in a short story collection.
Yeah.
And in that story, she turned him.
Yeah.
And they're together.
Yeah.
But as kids.
Right. Fantastic. I would love to. Well, that's just fantastic on its own.
Let the old dreams die, or something like that. That's what it's called.
Yeah. This was a marathon stream. Everybody chatting. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Celtic Girl. Has DeForest Kelly, Kimberly Ayers, Flesh Peddler. Have you ever heard of that movie?
No.
Never heard of that, Kimberly. But
I know Night of the Lupus or whatever.
DeForest Kelly in there, huh?
He's in tons of stuff. If you actually look him up, he was in tons of stuff.
Was Ted thinking of Thomas Kretschmann, a police officer?
If that's his name in Let Me In, then that's who I was talking about. Just the differences in the two films.
Yeah.
I like the sort of the sympathetic sort of police officer in that film. I liked what he brought to it.
Right.
So all my point is there's good stuff in both of them. I probably like the Swedish version a little better because it's more authentic to the book.
Yeah.
But I can't fault anybody for, especially since Let Me In is technically a Hammer movie.
Right.
I can't fault anybody for liking it.
Kimberly Ayers says, anyone watch Penny Dreadful?
My sister has told me about that show, and I haven't watched it.
It's a fantastic show, and it was cut short.
Oh, it doesn't have an ending? Or a satisfying ending?
You watch it.
This is why I don't watch shows.
Penny Dreadful is fantastic. The acting, the cinematography, and what's her name? The main actress in that movie. What's her name, people? Tell me real quick, because she is beautiful.
Isn't she the one from the Bond movie or something like that?
Yeah, she was in with the Daniel Craig.
Ava Green or something like that?
Yeah, what's her name? I forget.
Someone will pop it up there.
She was, oh my God. Do you guys ever watch any of your past reviews? Oh, I don't.
He does, I don't.
No, I don't watch myself.
You don't watch your show?
I don't watch
myself.
them. No, I can.
My kids will watch them, so sometimes I'll hear myself. But they don't really watch me that much.
What I can do is listen to our show on iTunes.
Okay.
If I'm going to sleep, put my earbuds in and listen to the podcast, because this does go up on iTunes. Our shows here, but so I can listen to us talk on that while I'm going to sleep. So, but no, I can't watch myself on the video back. I just we do it and it's done.
Once I do it, it's yours.
Yeah, it's yours. Yeah. The Death Twitch says Penny Dreadful is also the title of the horror anthology movie. Okay, yeah.
That's what they used to call the little horror, I think, stories, right? Penny Dreadfuls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Kimberly says Fesh Peddler was an old-time radio show. I'll have to look that up.
With DeForest Kelley.
I'll have to look.
I'll be damned. I mean, he's got a great voice for it now that I think about it.
Yeah, Kimberly, I'll have to look that up. I'm not, familiar at all with
Flesh
that.
Peddler. Come on, family, let's gather around the radio and listen to Flesh Peddler.
Yeah, Dave Pluffet says, it was
Eva Green.
Elias. Man, I need my
Codius.
glasses.
Codius.
Yeah, he's got it. That played it and Let Me In. I was thinking about the right one before.
He was in one of your favorite movies. Wasn't it Some Kind of Wonderful? He's like the punk rock guy. The leather.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies, Some Kind of Wonderful. A beautiful love story.
Oh
my God. Listen.
He spends all this money just to teach this girl a lesson.
Teen angst. I loved it, though. But
how does he not see that this cute little chick right here is just all about him?
You know what? Watts. Leah Thompson was beautiful in that movie. But
I don't even like short hair, and I like that girl.
But Watts was so lovable, and she's like a little puppy, man.
How do you not see
But anyways, it was fantastic. Yes, she is really great, Kimberly. Did I miss anything? Man, you guys are going. Thank you so much. Eva Green is her name.
Yep, I thought so.
Woo, beautiful actress. Let's see. Yes, she is really great, Kimberly. She has some amazing films, too. She does. Bob Gable says, "Hi, Celtic Girl, do you know me?" Okay. Ed Stewart, I remember Eva Green in remake of The Dark Shadows. Yeah, that's right. She was in that.
Oh, we're going to talk about
never mind. That. Oh, Dave Pluffet gave a link for the Flesh Peddler.
Oh, all right.
There you go.
Of course, Alice Cooper was in, The Dark Shadows. So.
If your name starts with a K, I do, Bob. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be talking about that. Dave, yes. Does it start with a K? Check it out. Bob Gable. No, am a Bob, not Gable. I stole that from Clark Gable. Okay, so you guys are trying to figure who you two are. Anyways, this has been a fantastic talk.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when you guys start, interacting and
all you need is me to go off on a tangent. Yeah. Insult Hitchcock a little bit, and then look at what happens.
No, it's all right, Bob. You guys talk away, man.
As soon as you say Hitchcock is balls.
Oh, jeez, no.
See, it gets the chat moving.
But listen, you guys. What we got on the channel? We got more old time radio shows coming up. I might start tonight after this show in about half hour, maybe.
Yeah! Excuse me.
Maybe a half hour from now because he's getting tired and he's got to go.
Well, I got to get up early because I'm not going to say stupid because it was an accident.
I know.
But one of my children broke their Chromebook from school.
But I might be, yeah.
So I have to go get a replacement.
But I might play.
To pay for it.
I might play X-1.
What's that?
Or sci-fi old time radio show. Oh. Or Alien Worlds, which is another old time radio show, but from the 70s. It was more of a.
You don't get in trouble for putting these things up there. Nobody's. No. Good for you.
So look forward to that. Check out all the links below. Always support the channel if you want through our Patreon.
Not if you want. You must.
What I'm going to do. If you guys are listening here, on my Patreon, I am going to allow access to almost 1 terabyte of all of my old time radio shows. Every single one. You could pick and choose. The comedy, sci-fi, horror, anything. There's a lifelong collection of old time radio shows that will be on the Patreon. That a certain tier, I will be putting this up in the coming week or so.
Give me a certain tier. You got to be a little like a higher level Patreon.
No, it'll be relatively.
I think you should be the topmost level.
But I'll be doing that, Platinum. And it'll go to support the channel, along with me streaming every night like I've been. So tonight it's going to be either one of those. Pretty soon here, I'm going to stream X-1 or Weird. Or Alien Worlds. So I'm starting to get a little... we talked a little while here. So I'll be back. Love the show. Thanks, Ed Stewart, for showing up.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yes, X1. So, Kimberly, I think that's what I might do. X-1. I didn't Celtic Girl, but glad to see you. Sweet, yes. Thank you guys all very much for showing up. And until next week, I think we'll be doing a Hammer...
something my way.
A Hammer film next week. Yes. So, look out for that. Check out the Late Late Horror Show on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Updates are always there. Appreciate it, you guys. Love it.